The following program is sponsored by Michael W. Smith. The views expressed on the following program are those of the host and not necessarily those of staff, management, or ownership.
Arizona, Phoenix, Dark Sky Radio, KXXT Christian Radio. Thank you for tuning in. This is Brother Mike, back on the radio, hardcorechristianity.com. Today's Bible study, The Rejection Killer. Today on Hardcore. Hey, will you call somebody and tell them the radio program's on, particularly somebody with low self-esteem or someone who is suicidal or has suicidal tendencies? Great program today. This is Brother Mike. I'm the professional counselor at the Arizona Deliverance Center downtown on 15th Avenue, just south of Osborne Road. The website, hardcorechristianity.com, has all of our ministry services. At the website, you'll notice we have 2 live services every week, Thursday and Friday night at 7 o'clock. We have preaching, teaching, healing, and deliverance at both those services. And we did not shut down for the COVID-19 crisis. We've been open the whole time. We've had hundreds of people, literally, since the COVID thing started in February. Literally hundreds of people delivered from demons and healed. Thank God we never closed the services down. On the website, you'll notice we have a free monthly seminar you can sign up for. You can hit the PayPal button there and send us another donation. We've been on the air 18 years here in the state of Arizona on KXXT Christian Radio. Thank you for all your support and all your donations. And don't forget about Sister Karen. She's on the homepage of the website. She'd love to list your house for sale for you. She loves working with Spirit-filled Christians. Rejection. Folks, God taught me about rejection, I think it was 13 years ago, I believe it was. Something like that, I don't remember now. And it was one of the biggest revelations God ever gave me over the years. I've had several of them. This one was a massive shock. What happens is this spirit of rejection is the number one demon the devil sends to all dysfunctional families in the United States. And since America has so many dysfunctional families, this is probably the number one family-wrecking spirit Satan has in his arsenal. This spirit attacks the family members of people who live in dysfunctional families. And during a period of abuse or great disappointment, this rejection demon gets into the brain of the child and morphs the child's personality. He puts negative thoughts and develops low self-esteem and a low self-concept in the child. Then later on, this rejection demon lets in other demons, principally the spirit of anger, rebellion, fear, and lust. This rejection demon is like the gateway to other demons. And this rejection spirit also is a matchmaker. The demon starts luring in, almost like sonar, like a magnet. He lures in people who can do you absolutely no good. And when you meet somebody like I do in counseling sessions, people who come in with low self-esteem or a low self-concept or have suicide ideation, this demon is always a part of the process. Well, let me give you a quick example here. Let's go to Seoul, South Korea. A super athlete over there, she was a triathlete on the Olympic team, incredibly decorated. Her name was Choi Soo-kyun. Choi Soo-kyun was an incredible athlete, but the Olympic triathlon team over there was coached by a group of coaches who were literally physically, mentally, and emotionally abusive. And they abused their players by causing them to overtrain and do incredibly demeaning things. For example, one of the techniques they used was they would force the athletes to overeat, and then they would make them guzzle a can of Coke or something, and then force them to vomit. And they had all kinds of other very abusive and degrading and humiliating techniques they used to control the athletes and get them solely focused on training and winning. It was, in a way, kind of a form of the Gestapo in Germany. It was absolutely horrible. Well, anyway, this athlete, Choi, she was part of the Gyeonggi City Hall triathlon team, and she had quit in 2018 because of mental and physical exhaustion. She came back in 2019, and they were still abusing her and some of the other athletes. Well, the Korean Sports and Olympic Committee investigated the situation. They found out about this horrible abuse these athletes were going through. But unfortunately, this poor girl committed suicide before any of this could be corrected. And she left a note, suicide note, for her mother, begging her mother to, quote, lay bare the sins of the coaching staff that had abused her. And they had a bunch of former teammates that testified at a press conference that what she had written in her suicide note was in fact true. But the people that testified had their identities covered. They were wearing hoods, so nobody could find out who they were, because they were in deep fear of retribution. But everybody knew about the nightmare that was going on. What's actually happening here? Well, when Choi was young, somehow, some way, this demon of rejection had gotten into her brain. And these demons all work the same. They usually get in during childhood. They get in during periods of trauma, child abuse, sex abuse, emotional trauma, or some kind of a great disappointment or a traumatic fear event strikes the child. And this demon gets into the child's brain and starts to literally morph the child's personality. And they create strongholds in the child's mind, strongholds that relate to low self-esteem, low self-concept, self-hatred, self-disgust. They teach the child that they are deficient to other people. They teach the child to be a self-nitpicker. They teach the child to receive and replay, like they're programmed, chronic negative thoughts. And then these demons let in other demons, usually fear and lust and depression and self-hatred. And the child grows up seeing themselves, in a way, kind of disgusting or having no value. And they also tell the child that no one loves them, no one will ever love them, and that God doesn't love them. And they actually convince the person, after many, many years of tormenting them, that suicide would be a reasonable option. That suicide is kind of a self-induced form of euthanasia, and that it makes sense. I mean, the demons tell the person that they would be better off gone, that they would be out of their misery if they killed themselves. They explain to the child, these are all thoughts in the mind, remember, chronic thoughts in the mind, repetitive thoughts in the mind, that the person can't be helped, is not loved, and they're going to be this way the rest of their lives. And they're going to be sick the rest of their lives. If anybody in South Korea had known what I'm teaching you today, and had been a born-again Christian, and had known this poor girl, Choi, they could have prevented this suicide and prevented her from dying and ending up in hell. But the culprit behind it all, the root cause of it all, was this spirit of rejection, and this demon runs amok in America. He is everywhere in the United States, and he is destroying families, causing divorces. He is the principal spirit behind suicide in the United States. By the way, suicides are skyrocketing now because of COVID and because of this horrible demon, the spirit of rejection. Friend, if you grew up with a low self-esteem, a low self-concept, if you're a self-nitpicker, if you sense that nobody loves you, no one will ever love you, if you've got a string of bad relationships in your background, broken relationships in your background, you have been infected with this demon of rejection, and he needs to come out, and I can help you. 602-636-5800. You don't have to die like this great triathlete in South Korea and leave a suicide note. You don't have to do that. That can be avoided, and that rejection spirit can be cast out. Jesus said in Mark chapter 16 that these signs shall follow them that believe. In my name they shall cast out demons. In my name they shall speak with new tongues. They shall lay hands on the sick, and they shall recover. Friends, the anointing and the love of God and the mercy of God is available to help you get rid of this childhood rejection demon. He is a cold-blooded killer. He will strangle you out with chronic negative thoughts, chronic self-debasing negative thoughts. He will cause you to turn on yourself. He will tell you in your mind through thoughts that suicide is a perfectly logical and reasonable response to all the suffering and the heartache that you are going through in your life and have gone through in your life. He will literally talk you into disappearing. You'll be gone, man. You'll be gone. And you'll do it to yourself. You can be healed and delivered. And I can help you. 602-636-5800. Just call and say, hey, Brother Mike, I heard you on the radio. I have this rejection demon. I'd like to get some help in confidence, confidentially. Help is available for you. If you are a born-again Christian, there is no charge for counseling and deliverance services. The services are free. This childhood spirit of rejection that you picked up when you were young has to go. And he has to go before it's too late. See you next time.
The views expressed on this program are those of the host and not necessarily those of staff, management, or ownership. This program was sponsored by Michael W. Smith.